On this episode of Global Zimbabweans, we get to talk to Makosi Musambasi, a global champion.
At Worldremit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, Worldremit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Welcome to Global Zimbabweans, brought to you by Worldremit as well as 𝐂𝐤𝐥𝐞𝐥𝐞𝐥𝐤 International Media Group. So my name is Misred, and of course I always bring you these amazing guests. Today is no different. I've got someone so amazing. Oh my gosh, I can tell you so many things about her. She is a sister, a friend, a fighter, a coach, an awesome human being. But welcome to Makosi Musambasi. Welcome to the show, Makosi.
Thank you so much for having me. I cannot dance to save my life, but there we go.
You know, I always watch your TikToks and I'm like, but she's trying, eh? She's really trying.
No, TikTok has choreography. You know, they give us the choreography, so there you go.
Yeah, so it makes it simpler. But thank you for agreeing to just have this meeting with me. I think there's so many layers to who you are, and I think being someone that actually knows you personally, I've seen a lot of different shades of Makosi, but I think as the personality that people actually know, there's so many other sides to who you are. But I always like to say there's the side that you believe you are. So I'm going to just start by asking you to just give everyone watching just a brief background on who Makosi actually is.
Makosi, I'm going to try and define Makosi in a way that we can understand it in a 3D world. Mm-hmm. So I'm a certified master life coach, certified in Dubai 2019. Oh my gosh, 2020. I almost missed 2020 because, you know, my mind just managed to block it out. Yeah. I started off as a nurse. I traveled to the United Kingdom when I was 17. I graduated as a nurse. I went on reality TV. So some might think, what is the big deal about Makosi? Why do we know about her? I was initially on a show called Big Brother in the United Kingdom. Mm-hmm. And then I left the United Kingdom and I came to Nigeria, where I am now. Although I'm also a UAE resident. I'm in Nigeria at the moment, where I thought, you know what? I do like speaking in front of the camera, and I like motivating people. So why don't I come up with my own show, which is Makosi Today. Makosi Today was not birthed in Nigeria. It was birthed at Celebration Center in Zimbabwe by a guy called Munya Balogo.
Munya Balogo,
he's amazing.
Yes.
So we founded we founded Makosi Today, and I thought, you know what, I might, at some point I'm going to get tired of sitting in front of the camera. This was 6-7 years ago. So I founded Africa Media Inc., which is involved with a lot of movie productions out here in Nigeria at the moment. And why I started Africa Media Inc. is I was thinking, okay, now I'm 34, I'm doing Makosi Today, but I'm gonna be 40 one day, and guess what? I'm 40 now, and I might not want to keep going in front of the camera. I might want to keep inspiring people by producing stuff. So there's that. And then there's Sisters Keeper, which you have hosted once, which is a charity organization that I run. We've done events in Zimbabwe, we've done events in Dubai, and we've done events in Nigeria. What else can I say about Makosi? Oh, I survived. You see, I even forget that I had cancer, although I'm left with one breast.
Because you're a survivor.
I survived breast cancer 4 years ago. My God, Ebenezer Jehovah. I can, sometimes when I think about it, the experience was so raw. When I think about it, it doesn't feel like 4 years ago, but it was actually 4 years ago. So thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. Wow. So that's like I was saying, there's a lot to you, and people can never actually understand. So I'm just going to take you backwards a little bit. And I know it's kind of weird because you're also a media personality. So here I am, and I actually want to take us, chapter by chapter by chapter. So you came out, I think it was 2005 when Zimbabweans were now exposed to who you are through Big Brother and so forth. And then you went to Nigeria. So how was that transition moving from the UK to Nigeria? Was it an easy one? Did you find it difficult? How was that transition?
I always joke about being a global citizen, so really I don't belong anywhere. So coming to Nigeria for me it wasn't that hectic. I got here, I faced reality, and I just got on with life. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which country you're in, it is you. I know a lot of people who are not successful in the United Kingdom. I know a lot of people who are not successful in the United States. I know a lot of people who are not successful in Paris. So it really, really depends on you. It's never a geographical location thing. And I know a lot of people are going to say to me, but how can you say that, things in Zimbabwe are so hard or things in Nigeria are so hard? But, life is all about perspective. Life is about what things mean to you. Life gives you information and you can call it poverty or you can call it wealth. And what you call it is what it becomes. So it's like a circle. You have to get into, the Bible says, let the weak say I'm strong and let the poor say I am rich for a reason. You have to be able to name it what you want to name it. I'll go back to Adam again. I'm sorry to Bible thump you, but that's what I am founded in. You go back to Adam, and God said to Adam, name these animals. So it was up to him to name them, although God knew what the animals were called already. So it's up to you to name your situation. So when I came back to Africa, to Nigeria, it was my first time being an adult in Africa. Mm-hmm. Now you have situations where sometimes you don't have light. You have situations where sometimes you have to be home early, curfews because the roads are not safe. It's up to you to look at that situation and say, this is bad. Mm-hmm. You can so now I know how to regulate my lights. I know how to regulate my generator. So instead of sitting when NEPA takes light, instead of saying, oh, there's no light again, the government does not function, I just literally figured out how I regulate this stuff. I was about to come onto this. And I said to the guy at my gen who runs the gen, I said to him, if they take light whilst I'm on this interview, switch on the generator. If they don't take light, we continue. You really have to have a mindset that says, this is where I am, how can I make the most of it?
And I think for you've had a lot of lemons and you've kind of turned them into really sweet lemonade on so many multiple occasions. But for me, I'd love to know where the passion for being a coach, a life coach, actually came from. Because you said you were certified in 2019, yes?
Yeah.
So where did it even start from? Were you always just someone who used to just motivate people and people would be like, yeah, great? Or there was somewhere where it actually began?
Okay, so you've asked where my passion of becoming a coach came from. I don't think you get a passion of becoming a coach. I feel coaching is a calling. Mm-hmm. There's so many, because when you coach someone who sits in front of you, you are literally their pastor in that moment. So for me, if you watch the clips from Big Brother, you will find moments where, I was showering naked, but there were moments where I look back myself and I'm like, girl, you're wise, So for me, I think coaching, I just got the certification because the world respects pieces of paper, if you want to call it that. But I've always been that person who you tell me something and I'm looking for a solution for you. And I have that issue, like it's actually a problem with my sister, because sometimes she says to me, I am just telling you this to listen, Makosi. I'm not telling you this so you can advise me. So I don't think I don't think you decide to be a coach because it's not the easiest of jobs. It's quite taxing emotionally, it's taxing spiritually, it's taxing mentally, and sometimes physically. So for me, I think I was born one.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice, simple answer to that. For you, you believe you were born one. All right. So lockdown for a lot of countries. I don't know your side, but for our side, we're on lockdown. COVID, pandemic, all these things are happening. 2020 in the year that you are trying to block out because of all these things that have happened. How have you been coping with all of this happening around us?
So I'm going to say something to you that is probably going to surprise you. I am an introvert. Hello.
Really?
So I thrive when you lock me away. You can put me in front of a camera like this and yes, I'll come alive. But if you put me in front of people, I would need to either go away for a week after that and gain back my energy. So I must say, for me, the lockdown helped me lock myself down. It helped me ground myself. I enjoyed waking up every single morning, not having stuff running around the house because they couldn't come to the house. I enjoyed learning how to cook. Hello. Because my mom thought it was more important for us to get an education, not to cook or clean. So 2020 was the year I didn't only just grow my dreadlocks, but I learned how to cook. I got the confidence to start coaching because I got my qualification, but I was not thinking, oh, how do I have a client sit in front of me and but you know, when you are Zoom coaching and you are WhatsApp coaching and you're coaching on the internet, it's not as daunting and it's not as hectic. So again, as I said to you, anything in life is a piece of information. What you do with it decides whether it is a problem or it is actually a benefit for you. So for me, 2020, as much as my mind blocks it out by itself, after I think about 11 COVID tests, and I know I'm one of the few who managed to travel between about 6 or 7 countries in the same year. I'm grateful it's over, but I don't think for me it was as traumatic as it has been for other people. And I feel for the people who have lost lives because of COVID. I feel for the people who have lost livelihood because they can't go to work. But we also always have to maintain the silver line out of anything. There are some good stories out of 2020, and even if they're 10% of good stories, sometimes I feel when you listen to a good story, it can motivate you to turn your own lemon into lemonade.
All right.
At Worldremit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, Worldremit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
We're in 2021 right now, and I'd love for you to just speak directly to someone whose livelihood has been affected, and just something that can just help them through the trauma of 2020, getting into 2021 with a little bit more perspective.
So what happened in 2020 induced a lot of doubt in people. Some people asked, oh God, where are you? Some people lost hope. Some people lost faith. What I can say to you is my grounding verse, the verse that I took to me for surgery when I got the mastectomy, the verse that I took through chemotherapy, the verse that I took through radiation is, with God, all things are possible, number one. Number two, there is light at the end of the tunnel, whatever the tunnel throws at you. And sometimes I feel like your personal success is decided by your darkest moments. You know, if you go to a city like New York and it's well lit, or if you go to a city like Dubai, which is well lit, and you try and look at the stars within the city, you won't see the stars because there's so much light in the city. But if you're in Dubai and you go to the desert where there are no lights, where it's really dark at night, and you look up, you see more stars. So sometimes it takes a certain level of darkness for you to see a different light. So I want you to know that there is hope at the end of the tunnel, and I want you to look for the light. You know, sometimes we look, it's just like Google as well. When you go to Google, Google gives you what you ask for it. If you ask for Makosi in a dodgy way, you will get dodgy Makosi. If you ask for Makosi life coach, you get Makosi life coach. So what you look for in life is usually what you find. The quality of your questions decide the quality of your life. So if you're listening to this and you've lost a loved one, you've lost a livelihood, I want you to first of all understand that I know exactly how you're feeling, because by the time 2017 ended, I had one breast. And women define their sexuality with their boobs. Some people say, oh, it's your selling point. But I had one breast. But guess what? Look at me now. Look at me today. So it might seem really dark right now, but as you go into 2021, one word: have hope.
Have hope. All right, on that note, we are going to do one last thing before you go, because I know you're a busy lady, but we have some quick fire questions, and if you can, just quickly answer them with one word, okay? Yes or no? And answer between the two, okay?
Yes.
All right, so if you're ready, say I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
First question, sadza or rice?
Sadza.
Arsenal or Manchester?
Arsenal.
Shumba or cheetah?
Shumba. All day and day.
Victoria Falls or Nyanga?
I'll say Nyanga for this reason. I have never been to Victoria Falls, but I've been to Nyanga. So Nyanga.
Okay, 𝐿𝐴𝐴 or Winky D?
Mwana wa mamba kachengetwa nehundo. 𝐿𝐴𝐴 all day and day.
On that note, Makosi, thank you so much for finding time to talk to us today. And just some parting words from you to everybody. Just, anything that you want to say.
So to everybody, thank you so much for putting up with me. And thank you so much for loving me. I want you to know that I love you as much as you love me. And remember, guys, I know, at the beginning of this, we are talking to successful people, global, whatnot. You are a success because you tuned in. Why? Because success is not an amount in your bank account. Success is an attitude.
All right, success is an attitude. On that note, thank you to everybody who's joined us today, and Makosi, stay amazing. Mwah, mwah, mwah.